Beacon, which today is a luxury housing development, was once the Jersey City Medical Center, one of the most well-known and revered places in the city. Many residents say they or their family members were born there. Others are quick to point out they worked there or had family members who do. As former Mayor Healy once said, the buildings are connected to the heart of Jersey City's history. People care about them. The medical center was the result of the efforts of Frank Hague, the legendary mayor of Jersey City and Democratic boss of Hudson County. He wanted to provide affordable and free health care to residents. It was also a way to provide jobs for his constituents, since Hague's political machine relied on their support. From 1928 to 1941, the medical center grew into a complex of 11 buildings spread over 14 acres. Many of the new buildings were added through federal money provided by the Works Progress Administration during the Depression. It was a reward for Hague's support of Franklin D. Roosevelt's bid to become president in 1932. The medical center's most well-known building is the Margaret Hague Maternity Hospital, an icon in the collective memory of the city. At the peak of its operation, it is said to have delivered more babies than any other hospital in the nation. At the same time, its infant mortality rate was said to be much lower than the national average. Ultimately, though, the medical center turned out to be an overly ambitious project that became too big for a small city with too many staff for the number of patients it served, resulting in major annual budget deficits. In 1988, it went into bankruptcy, becoming a private nonprofit organization. In 2004, the medical center moved downtown to Grand Street. There was disagreement about what to do with all the buildings left behind uptown. Some said they should be converted into housing to generate income for the city. Others said they belonged to the public and should be put to public use for administrative or cultural purposes. The mayor at the time, Anthony Cucci, favored converting the site into housing since he felt it was a great need. Glenn Cunningham, the president of the city council, agreed, but said it should be affordable housing where working people can live rather than luxury dwellings for the rich. A consulting group hired to study ways in which the site could be converted concluded that building mixed-income housing there would be a feasible option. However, that's not what happened. In 2002, the city sold the site to Metrovest Equities for $6.5 million. The developer renamed the old medical center the Beacon, with the goal of converting 8 of its buildings into 1,200 market-rate rental and condominium apartments. Some space would also be set aside for commercial and cultural enterprises. In describing his plan to redevelop the old medical center to a New York Times reporter, the owner said, "We're going to focus on the large group that has been shut out of the market for a number of years," referring, the reporter added, to those who want to own condos in Jersey City but can't afford to live by the waterfront. In 2005, there was a debate over a proposal to give the owner a tax break to develop the property. At a city council meeting to discuss it, over 20 residents showed up to voice their disapproval. Some argued against the sale of city-owned property for luxury housing, saying that affordable housing, jobs, and recreational facilities were more needed. One resident, a mother of 2, said, "I just want to know where we're supposed to go. All the developments that are going on in Jersey City are not affordable at all. I struggle to pay rent every day. I work to pay for it." Despite some misgivings, most city council members voted in support of the tax break for the developer, who said he would be willing to discuss the inclusion of some affordable housing in the project. The developer received several 30-year tax abatements to renovate several buildings. These tax breaks were described at the time as the most generous in the city's history. As it turns out, no affordable housing was included in this project. The director of the city's redevelopment agency at the time said that the plan to redevelop the medical center was in the community's best interest. Converting the Beacon into apartments was a challenge because its Art Deco style buildings had to be restored to their original condition inside and out. Because of this, the developer received several government grants to help pay for it. According to a representative of one of the companies involved in the restoration process, it was one of the largest restoration projects in the country at the time and received the largest historic preservation tax credit in the nation. The Art Deco design of the medical center became a major selling point in marketing the property. Media accounts often referred to the building's terrazzo floors, marble lobbies, glass and brass railings inside, as well as its exterior decorative features. The renovated buildings were renamed after well-known Art Deco theaters to enhance their prestige. While the Beacon today may be seen as a successful transformation of a financially troubled hospital into a luxury housing development, its road there was rocky. By 2007, the first two buildings, named the Rialto and the Capitol, were completed, but by 2010, renovation of the third building, the Mercury, stopped as the housing market declined. The developer was unable to obtain financing and was forced to auction off some condos, while others lost half their value. One report in 2012 noted that the Beacon's buildings are only partly developed and face hundreds of millions of dollars in construction costs and an uncertain future. In 2012, MetroVest sold 5 of the undeveloped buildings to another developer for $46 million. In 2013, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority provided $33 million for the next stage of redevelopment of the buildings into luxury housing and commercial space. By 2016, as the market improved, the former Margaret Haig Maternity Hospital was renovated into apartments, completing the complex's transformation of 8 buildings. Was the Beacon a lost opportunity? Since the city owned the site, it could have redeveloped the site to provide housing for all of the city's income groups, as the consultants it hired suggested. It could have been a model of how a city can grow in a way that benefits all residents. The Jersey City Medical Center was built by the city's workers and paid for with their tax dollars. Its restoration and transformation into luxury housing was also subsidized with millions of their tax dollars, but without little benefit to them. That's all for now. Please follow, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you.